Basically, our mana sources can be colorless, right? Molten Tail, Yawgmoth's Will, Damnation.
Hmm. Damning it might be good.
I like all of those. I don't know if Yawgmoth's Will is us because like what ends up in our yard. We
Yeah,
have,
I don't have Black Lotus.
and we do have Masticore
Similarly.
proper. That's not to say this is
Hmm.
good, but like Damnation might be.
Might be like a missing thing.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, we pick up Karakas so we can go infinite of casting our.
I cast Emrakul every turn.
Weird.
It's like a time. Oh my god!
Tez! Yeah, we pick Tez and we find a way to make it work. Maybe we get that Is It Signet back. That would be hella good.
That would be beautiful. Top 5 cards in your library. Huh?
Target artifact becomes a 5/5.
Base power and toughness. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo! You just think. Oh!
There's a
Hey,
D2
hello.
in the pack. I was looking at the pack for a while, looking for something worthwhile, and then it's like, wait, D-Tutor.
I'll just have another copy of my best card. And, sure.
Yeah, we can definitely pick that over the other cards in here.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. You do not know
Academy Ruins, what are you doing in the one pile?
What the hell? How'd you... That's not even the one pile. That's just like its own pile. Like it bought its own zone. Man.
Take my opponents to the own zone.
Metal worker.
He
Yeah,
might
we
end up
better-
coming out if I don't have anything to, like... Oh, Lord.
I don't think we're gonna end up with anything to like.
Mono huge.
I like how our huge is just like, all right, we got Emma Cruel and some walkers. Again.
Like Welder's
Again.
Somnum
more walkers.
Simulacrum.
Again.
That's what Goblin Welder does.
Just continue. Or we tap Thran Dynamo, use Goblin Welder to swap it out with like a Mox and then get more mana for the turn or something, and we just keep swapping out the. We find a way to untap the Welder and just like that's how we ramp Metamorph.
But sneak attack.
Oh my god. I realize sneak attack, but we only have Emacruel. Like we can't sneak attack a walker.
Sneak attack my Lodestone Golem down. Surprise! Your stuff costs more.
Surprise! You know, we do it in like mid combat or surprise solemn simulacrum. Haha!
Ancient Tomb Mox Ruby. I love it.
You know, I think my favorite part is that we have the Abyss, and I don't think we have guys for it to kill. Like, the Abyss is one-sided for our deck. You know, go for the throat basically will hit every creature because we have all the artifact creatures.
Hell, I might take Bitter Blossom out. What's that even doing? What are you even doing, Bitter Blossom? Costing me life.
Yeah, we already have to pay life for Ancient Tomb. Inquisition. We could also pick up Braids. I don't think we can actually
I
do
don't
any.
think I'm doing it. Well, Braids makes Bitter Blossom more real, maybe. I already have the Abyss. I'll take Inquisition.
Yeah, look. Koth? Volrash Strong? Koth? We don't have.
Am I going to have mountains?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have one.
You're red-ish.
Okay.
Well, like,
What are
here's the
you doing
thing.
going into 3? Oh, he saw a Phyrexian Metamorph there. Sure.
Yeah. Unless we want Karakas, but I don't think we're that greedy. I also, Molten Tail Massacre is like an actual card for our deck. Yeah. I don't think we're Aether Vial. Steal Mom? Well, no, Mom doesn't do anything.
Who cares
against
about
us.
Mom?
Yeah.
I'll take her Mom.
Oh no, Pro Color. She says as she dies to the Abyss. Well, she taps to the Abyss.
Sure. Whatever. Teetering Peaks.
Don't care.
Worse than a mountain, let me tell you.
Yep. Well,
Man,
like, we get red going on in
whoa,
like
Koth
Koth.
really wants mountains, though. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
He is the mountain man. Mountain.
Sure, reasonable removal.
Oh, right! I didn't see any cards from that because of Lodestone Golem. That was the only card in that pack. And then there was another one somehow?
Weird.
That's weird.
Anyway, so we have something.
Alright. Let's...
Yeah. So,
Oh my
Mom,
God.
can you protect yourself from the Mastical?
lands that I actually want. Okay. Teetering Peaks, probably not a land I want. Mox Ruby is a land.
Nothing else is.
Okay.
Okay. 29. We have a number of cuts. And honestly, we probably don't want, like, Grim Lavamancer and Goblin Welder, I think, are numbers 1 and 2. I think we
Yeah.
try to make the Abyss one-sided.
Yeah, Goblin Welder doesn't need to look far for interactions, but
Yeah.
I don't have anything like obviously that. I mean, the Worm Coil engine, for instance, is what you really want with Welder.
So do you want to cut Koth then? You're
I
talking
do.
about needing... Okay.
I do. He's too hard to support in my plan here. I know he is from the Artifact world.
Right, but he was... Yeah, he was...
Oh no! Oh my goodness! Look at his belt. He's got a Hearthstone token.
Oh, can
He's
he
a
enter the
betrayer. I think he can.
arena? What the hell, Koth?
Okay, let's cut Disfigure. Probably Inquisition 2.
Maybe Edict.
Edict,
And then
because I
you're
have go for
now
the
you're-
third ultimate price Dreadbore.
Now you're at 23. You don't have to make any cuts.
What am I even doing? What has happened to my life?
You found some, like, what is it, Ethereum, whatever the hell Tezzeret is made of, and now you are made of metal. You are a metal man. We could cut Sarkhan. I don't know. That cuts our red requirements easily. The only card on our sideboard I think that's really unique is the Inquisition. We don't have any sort of, like, that's our only piece of discard. But I guess the question is, how easy is it to cast that Sarkhan? We basically don't care, do we? Our mana base can be whatever we want.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put the lands in. One of them being Mox Ruby, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so we
I
actually
do have
do
the
have,
Blood Crypt.
we can definitely afford the red.
All right. Ooh, Suggestatron, what do you want? 3 islands, huh?
There's only Tezzeret.
The Tezzeret and Bolas.
I would say 2 because you do have
Yeah.
Academy Ruins and
I guess I possibly Phyrexian Metamorph there.
then up mountain.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. It's 12, 28, sure. Add to deck. There we go.
Okay. Allow me to quick do the math. We have 8 cards in hand in our opener. We look at our opener. We go Ancient Tomb, Mox, Metalworker, go. That brings us to 5 cards. We draw. Our hand is Emrakul, 5 artifacts. We have 13 mana.
Oh no.
We are not able at that point to Emrakul on 2. I mean,
I guess I'll just have to wait.
yeah, you'll have to wait 1 turn to draw another artifact to get to 15 mana.
Shame I don't have any artifact lands.
The trick with our mana sources is that on top of our islands, we have Dimir Signet, Solemn Simulacrum, and Coalition Relic.
Oh, I do have land fetch. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, we also have a Blood Crypt. Does that change our mana map
Blood
at all?
Crypt. Well, currently I have 4 red sources, but I could switch a mountain out for an island. Maybe. Would I really miss it? Would I really want it?
I mean, here's the
I'm
worst
thinking of
case.
3 and 3.
The worst case is that we're off blue. We have 2 dead cards in our hand. If we're off red, we have 3 dead cards in our hand. If we're off black, we have a lot of dead cards. That's actually like the more relevant color.
So maybe mountain out for swamp. Just to
I think
hit that damnation.
I think the Blood Crypt does enough for that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Sadly, we don't have any card draw. That's kind of like the missing piece here, is like a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah. Didn't see any of it. I'm just gonna have to have all of the pieces that I need already and dig for the rest with the top.
We have Mox Ruby too. I think we're good with this. I think we just roll with it. The only change I would think of is like trying to squeeze in another island, but all of this is like
Okay. Well,
shit.
before I submit, I'm gonna take a quick break
All right.
and be back soon.
So taking a look at this, I'm sitting here thinking. Ancient Tomb, Mox. Ancient Tomb, Mox. Where? Oh, do we pass Recall? I actually don't remember seeing Recall. If we saw Vision, I remember Ancestral Visions. That's a completely different card, though. Like, if we passed Ancestral Recall, that was a... Okay, never mind. Yeah. Don't even worry about it. Winter Orb that early doesn't do anything, sadly. I'm really happy about the Abyss. We get that down, and everything looks terrifying for our opponent. It's one-sided. I've never seen the one-sided Abyss. You know? Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. So cool. The one-sided Abyss we can throw everything into. We have Damnation. We have... Mastercore is going to be weird because we don't have card draw for them, but that's okay.
Yeah, Masticore is gonna have to be like a 8 mana burn spell.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, if we have Winter Orb plus the Abyss, like our opponent just like kind of cries a lot. I don't really know how that goes. Like our opponent like is in some sort of winter hell. Like,
Winter Orb, the Abyss, Lodestone Golem.
Golem. And also Nicol Bolas is here. Yeah. There's another player at the table who has the opposite side of our deck. Like, yeah, you're correct. You're probably correct. We're gonna run into Man with Tinker, you know, that sort of thing.
Great.
Well, we didn't see the other half.
Be
We
like
didn't
Tinker Blight, Steel Colossus. Woo.
see. We just like fall over to it.
Well, you know what?
No.
I took everyone's demonic tutor.
No, you know what we do
Look at
against
jerks.
Tinker Blightsteel? We do have a decent answer in the main. Metamorph, Karn, Nicol Bolas. And, you know, you can say, oh, they can tinker. Yeah, we Edict on the board. Oh, they can, you know, tinker on turn 2. Well, we can Karn on turn 2. Who cares? Those are both equally valid plays.
Karn on turn 2.
You know how rude that is, by the way?
Let's work some metal.
Beams.
Beams. This art does not even suggest what the thing does.
Nope.
Aha! A little guy firing at a beam at littler guys, which makes an
Is it-
orb around him.
Is it creating them out of the orb? Is that what's going on?
He does seem to have blueprints in the background.
Yeah. Is that how it is? Orbs.
We almost went to time.
All right. Now, can we defeat the underdog 112358?
Underdog Fibonacci.
Yeah. Born in the year of Fibonacci. That was a strange year.
November 23rd, 1958. Of course.
Yep.
Okay.
I see metal worker.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
keep this one.
We're off color, but Solemn's in our hand, so. Okay. Mox.
The Abyss.
All right, that's gonna be our Solemn grab.
How about Ancient Tomb?
Yeah. Okay.
Pass.
Yep.
Double Forest.
Channel.
Wall of Roots. Oh, God.
Welcome to hell.
Oh, no!
All right, we need to get the Abyss going.
Asked and answered.
That's just play metalworker then, right? Crunch. And even if he answers the metalworker, we can still cast the Abyss. Hopefully we draw an artifact.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would allow us
That's-
to play Solemn and the Abyss in the same turn.
Mono green.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it. 5 mana at his disposal.
Mm-hmm. Thinking, should I use my artifact kill now?
Deranged Hermit.
Okay, the Abyss is gonna have a slow day.
Gross.
Yeah.
Might have to just ultimate price the Hermit.
Maybe. You can do both. It's a lot of life, but you can do both. You can use Metalworker, revealing Solemn.
Mm-hmm. That's 2, 3, 4,
5, 6.
5, 6.
You have to play.
I would have to play the blood. Oh man.
Pay with your blood.
Let's do
Actually,
it.
No. Don't. You still do the same thing, but ultimate price one of his mana sources. Like ultimate price is Walrus, then he can't play the Echo.
Oh. Okay.
Actually,
yeah. That.
well, then you just sacks it to the Abyss. Anyway.
Well. Anyway, I would like to pay 2 life. That's that
Like
answered.
to.
Yeah. I'm going to reveal. No.
Okay.
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 Good. So that
Um,
happened. About Ancient Tomb,
1 black,
black, the Abyss,
then black.
black, ultimate price on Walrus.
Yep. Cool. And now we're only taking 5 on the crackback here, and we have the Abyss up, and we can play Solemn next turn. Okay. Now you can yield to it. There we go.
Always yield. Okay.
Okay. So, squirrel tokens are a good way to avoid the Abyss being like a backbreaking thing, and we probably don't want to use that Ancient Tomb anymore. But,
I'll also want a blocker. Jeez.
yeah. Yep, 5 in.
I'll show you go for the throat.
Can we draw a Masticore?
Raphellos.
Oh boy.
Gross. Sylvan
Sylvan
Cariat.
Cariat.
Ah! Too many dudes!
Right. Click on it.
Oh.
Okay, so we drew an artifact. You can go. I guess it's reveal the metal worker.
I mean, I can tap the metal worker for Solemn Simulacrum.
You can tap it for Thran Dynamo and then use this Thran Dynamo for Solemn Simulacrum too.
That's true.
I think that's probably the play, and then go grab a mountain so you can cast that Sarkhan.
Sure. Did that get
Yep.
both of them?
Yep, they're both.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Thran. We can still drop.
I do wish to use the ability for a mountain. Academy Ruins. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And now we're showing off our shenanigans. So bye-bye squirrel. One card in our opponent's hand. Let's hope it's non-threatening, I suppose. Like, your opponent has enough mana to play anything in the game other than Emrakul, which we have, so... you know. Quite literally 4, 5, 8...
10? I guess he couldn't play
Ulamog.
Ulamog either. How about that? Hey! I'm so happy! What a happy looking guy. Let me tell you about Llanowar.
Hey!
It's such a great place.
Honestly, Sarkhan probably just comes down as a kill spell. Like, we need to start clearing the board.
Yeah, no kidding.
Whatever, if you have Crater Hoof, we were dead. Like,
Oh my god.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If he has Terracodon, we're okay. He's tapping Raphellos. This is awful in every single way. Here comes his giant man.
Here comes the Daredevil. Woodfall Prime.
It's the Abyss. Right? Like, or does he not kill the Abyss so that he can kill the Abyss on the Persist? You know?
Man. How is the Abyss this bad?
He just has all these squirrels to throw into it. What the hell? We played the Abyss on like turn 3 and it just didn't matter? What the hell? We always call these cool creatures the Abyss when we run them into our opponent, but then apparently this card just doesn't.
The Abyss is just kind of bad.
Yeah. Man, that really needed to be basically anything other than a real spell there. Like,
I know. Killing Thran Dynamo. All right.
he is going to start trying to use the Abyss to his advantage. Alright, you get to kill the Llanowar Elf then.
Carefully. Okay. I will block you. Okay.
Okay.
Huh.
You can't cast that.
Oh yeah, look at that. I am
Which
out
is-
of artifact.
If you would have killed the Abyss, you would have been able to steal the Woodfall Primus. That's tragic. If you want to stay alive, you basically have to... No, that's probably still dead, too. Sarkhan
Which is
killing...
like Sarkhan Killer Fellows.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try to do that.
God, 1 mana short.
1, 2. Okay. Deals 4 damage to target creature. You get out. And okay. Okay.
If we thought our opponent was an idiot, we could have attacked with Solemn and tried to kill it. Damnation isn't an out.
It's Woodfall Primus.
Yeah.
Which hopefully he sacks here to try and be a cool kid.
Yeah, I'll kill Sarkhan. That'll be sweet. Please. Okay.
Okay.
And we live. We take 4 Trample for Woodfall Primus and 1 Squirrel and go to 1.
And draw a card.
And really hope we get to use Bolas. Like, we're not dead. The game's not over. It's really damn close. That's the reason we made the Sarkhan play, because it's not over. You can't tap the Ancient Tomb for mana? That's...
Yeah, that makes it significantly dicier.
Yeah.
All right, here's attacks. Shipping the team. Wait, shipping just the Woodfall Primus?
I would suggest... Is that at you?
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest a double block.
Just so I can use Ancient Tomb?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I like that. This is the attack step. Okay. Yep. There's it.
Obviously, if your opponent basically has anything else to follow this up with, it's...
Oh, yeah. Mega
But-
ruined.
Okay. That may sounds good. We
okay.
would like to draw a card.
Yes. It's a
Okay.
swamp.
We have Bolas.
Trollocedic.
Untargetable.
The Abyss does nothing.
Really, the Abyss.
What the heck?
What if this card sucked? So here's the thing, and it's kind of lame. You can play Bolas and steal his Woodfall Primus, but it's tapped, and he'll kill you
It's
back
tapped.
with Troll. So you lose. So there's no point in showing him either of those. You can attack with Sarkhan if you want. That's cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
Freaking man with hexproof creatures. Okay.
Hexproof creatures and tons of creatures.
Yeah.
That's Trollocedic with regen mana, too.
Uh-huh.
That's... Ugh. I have to click on this every time. Like, why is that?
Why? It's the only ability. Yeah. Primus does come back untapped. We could Dreadbore it, but we didn't have the mana to Dreadbore plus Bolas.
Plus Bolas, yeah. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, that's exactly enough for Nicole Bolas.
Yeah. Absolutely not. There's no way we board out the Abyss here. Like, yeah, okay, it's lackluster, but lackluster doesn't mean it's...
I mean, it still got rid of, like, 4 creatures.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Edict,
Inquisition. Try to hit his mana dorks. Edict also for his hexproof guys, but that implies he doesn't have tokens.
Right. Is there anything that I have that is worse than any of that? Like Sarkhan himself?
Sort of. We
It
could
would,
bring,
also, it would also let me cut mountains.
yeah, bring out Sarkhan, bring in like an Edict, or even
Just Inquisition.
Inquisition can't hit the Hermit. Inquisition's 3 or less mana cost
Yeah.
cards. Kind of the reason it's not terribly relevant here. How about Disfigure? Literally use it to kill his mana dorks.
Okay. Disfigure out. Or Disfigure in, Sarkhan out.
Yep.
1, 2 mountains out.
That leaves us with Mountain, Blood Crypt, Mox Ruby. We have enough. Yeah, we can do that.
I would like two
Le-
swamps. Thank you. I would like a legal deck, as it turns out.
Okay. Let's just try it back.
Sure. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I want this deck to succeed.
He just
so
had
very much.
he had a start that was good against the cards that I had.
He had a start that would have been good against basically anybody. Like what? Like turn 3 Hermit, turn 5 Woodfall Primus.
Freaking Raphaelos. Get out of here with that.
Hmm.
Opponent's looking at the Nature's Claim like, what do I take out?
His deck is gonna he's gonna sideboard in and his hand will just be like Nature's Claim, Crowsand Grip, Acidic Slime, Indrik Stomp Howler, and we're just gonna like fall over. Our deck explodes, and then we play Bolus, and he's like, wait, that's not an artifact. So
All right, I would like to play first. What do we got? Loads, Ancient Tomb.
that's a turn 2 Lodestone.
Oh my god.
Turn 2 Lodestone.
Keeping this.
We have Lodestone sign. Ancient Tomb, hold the Mox,
I am gonna hold the Mox.
because he could
It's
in
just
Nature's
a
Claim or
spell.
some junk.
He doesn't have any like hand manipulation, so there's no way. Watch him just roll out a swamp.
I'm sorry.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
What?
What the hell is that?
Oh man, I might have made the wrong move.
Whatever.
Um,
Do it. Mox Ruby.
Ruby first.
Swamp. Lodestone Golem. Hello. Then we get to play Winter Orb.
Beautiful.
Oh man, I am loving this. That blue's like a time walk, right? Like that's what it's gotta be. Sorry, yet. So land Signet
Oh.
Orb. Four turns to live.
I'm sorry, mana? You thought you had mana in your deck?
No.
Nope.
What gave you that impression?
I only get to untap one of my swamps.
Double blue. What the hell happened?
Looter Ilkor.
3 mana. He tapped out for that, by the way. That's
And it can't block my my guy.
yeah. So you
That's
get
kind of
un-
cool. I'll untap a swamp.
I guess attack first, and then you could play that for 3.
It is an artifact spell, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Do I want it for 3? Probably. Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, let's go nuts.
Like if we're doing something, might as well overkill it, right? Like. So how many times would you like to pay the multi kicker? 3.
Okay. Pay 6. Derp. It
Okay.
Figured it out.
All right, untap blue.
Play a forest.
He's gonna
Loot.
Loot. I guess we untap swamp. Okay, let's check out his grave. Look, if this guy was blue, green the whole time, I am goddamn impressed. Like, He just saw the half of his deck that worked.
Thrun.
Thrun. Well, he wasn't casting that.
Okay.
Alright.
Not Ancient 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I think-
5,
Yeah.
6, 7. Ooh, if I draw Karn.
No, your lodestone will prevent it.
Oh, he's not an artifact. Goofy.
Alright, you got a backup plan. I wish that
Alright.
was the Abyss, to be honest, but, you know. Alright.
Cool.
I love this.
Do you have the answer to Lodestone Golem? I have a bunch of cards that don't do anything. Look at this.
I know.
He's digging
Everything-
for it.
Everything you did past the Winter Orb was just, you know, extra shenanigans.
Soccer Tribelder enters the grave.
He discarded the Trump blocker?
He might have a better one.
Yeah. I guess so.
Also, the land would enter tapped. What good is that?
Derogatory
Derogatory
Speaker. Well, that cost him 2 of his mana to produce the Trump blocker, so I guess you untap the Ancient Tomb now. You can throw Emrakul at your opponent when it's in your grave. Guess you also get to attack here.
Yeah, let's attack.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
So
Let's
Chalice box. Oh, yeah, Chalice. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, it didn't matter all that much.
So yeah, you can with Emrakul is not like Darksteel or Blightsteel in that its trigger is a trigger rather than a replacement effect.
It says when.
Yeah, what the hell? This is the Abyss. We found the wrong Abyss in the last game.
Oh.
Explain. Okay.
Forest entered the
Forest.
graveyard. And we win!
Hey, we don't need to show them all this stuff.
Hey!
So blue, does that change anything?
Might make me want the Inquisition a little more.
Yeah. I like the Edict too. Now that I know that he has Thrun and
Troll Ascetic.
yeah, we have Damnation to deal with them too, but yeah. I guess the question is, what's worse? And the answer is that's difficult to answer.
That's really difficult. One of my Masticores.
Molten Tail, then. I like Masticore proper because we have a not a lot of creatures to throw away to Molten Tail,
Right, but we can just chain gun this guy.
right? And we can just go like and kill all the blockers.
Tail out. Inquisition in.
Yeah, we have Damnation to deal with.
Right.
You know.
They can't be regenerated.
Yep. All right, let's do it. So, here we are.
I would have definitely pegged him for mono green.
Yeah, same here. This hand owns.
I'm gonna keep it.
Do you want to play that Mox? Or do you want to play the Winter Orb?
Orb.
You want to play early Winter Orb?
Sure.
Just completely mess with your opponent by having Winter Orb in play. It barely affects you. Cool.
Welcome to the slow time.
So you get to go land Coalition Relic here? Because Relic produces the most mana out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remind me to put a counter on that.
That I can do. The mental note. I am now giving you...
Troll Ascetic.
It is mental note time. Time to put the counter on the thing.
Put a charge counter on Coalition Relic. Okay.
All right.
I'll untap one land.
Okay.
Always yield. It is a good question. What color do I want? Let's say black.
Okay. So you can play Thran Dynamo into Signet into no, I don't think you can play Thran Dynamo into Signet into Solemn, but you can play Thran Dynamo into like Masticore or Master.
Loading one. So
It would tap you out. So maybe Solemn's better then, because like you can.
Yeah, Masticore is gonna start demanding things of me, and I can't immediately use it for anything.
Yeah.
Whereas
Okay.
this is even maybe a better block. So let's pay 3. 1, 2, 3.
Like the Winter Orb keeps a lot of our lands tapped, but we have so much artifact mana, it's ridiculous. You know? And then we go grab the final land we need. Not that we really need a land anymore, like...
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess I could have grabbed the mountain for redundancy.
Yeah. We already have Mox Ruby and Coalition Relic.
Yeah.
Okay, so he needs to play a land to be able to regen it. Okay.
Well, I can't.
I think you block anyway if he attacks. Waste his mana.
He didn't.
Okay.
Untap blue.
Okay. Do you want to like hold the swamp to just play Mastercore here?
Hold the swamp to pitch. Sure.
And then,
Or
yeah, you even have regen mana, which is important. And you can attack with Solemn.
get that crucial 2 damage in.
Might matter. I mean, we have a way to win. It's called Masticore. And, like, basically any creature he plays that isn't troll aesthetic dies. You know? We did not forget that. It was
No
tapped.
block. Okay. No, yeah, I had to tap the relic as part of the mana chain in the last turn, so I will have to remember this turn to charge it. Basically, since I'm not spending it on anything else.
It's an open question because you have to drop regen mana to charge it. I guess just as a word of caution.
I know, but what in blue-green, what destroy target guy
Artifact.
is he gonna...
Basically,
Well,
like Nature's Claim effect. And I don't think the upside is worth it. I think you just leave it up. Just pass.
yeah, okay.
Then we discard our land.
Okay. You may discard a card.
Okay. So we get to attack in. And you have 3 activations of Masticore up. It's only creature, of course, but
Right. Can't just gun down my opponent.
yeah.
Good
Man. That's the other Masticore that can, but again, we need guys in the yard to power that one, and our deck has 7 creatures overall, so a lot less.
Yeah. Also, no looting. It's the kind of thing that you really want with that. Kind of like Thirst for Knowledge would be the best, I think.
Mm-hmm. I would like our Solemn to die just so we can, like, actually play cards out of our hand. Like, I mean, Dimir Signet's the chuck here, but... I can't believe our opponent was blue. How the hell?
Weird.
Yeah. Tap out.
He's drawing a lot of land. Okay. Yeah, the free attack.
Yep, take it. I would like your opponent to tap out for something like aggressive that way you can just ultimate price down.
That would be pretty nice. Primeval Titan.
You know, there's a Winter Orb in play, and then you can just ultimate price that. You can have all the lands you want tapped.
Okay.
You can have them. They're yours.
Gonna tap Coalition Relic for black.
Yep. It's the good old always use our artifact mana if possible sort of thing.
It was the only target. How about that?
Yeah, weird. And then we just have to pitch our final card every turn.
Ooh, okay. I may discard that.
And we'll discard that swamp too next turn.
Attack for half your life total.
Also, you're tapped out. And you will be for the considerable future. See, here's the thing. Raphellos or things like that don't matter. Masticore can shoot any creature that isn't the troll. Like, every creature is dead. Alright. Now we just keep pitching. Keep on pitching.
Can I always yield? Okay. Thank you. I may discard a card. How about that?
And we have go for
The throne.
We get to hold that and crush on in.
Oh,
He
right.
He hasn't gone to blockers yet.
There's block.
Yeah, so block regen.
Or, no, it
Or-
just dies.
Wow, I mean, he must be needing mana to not lose next turn.
Okay.
Just get ready to machine gun.
Curious to see your way out of this one.
You've got 5 points of machine gun damage on your next untap because of the Coalition Relics extra. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Fire.
So, deals 1 damage to target creature. Dink. Pay 2. That much. Sure. Doop.
Hello. Let me go ahead and... Yeah.
Charge counter on Coalition Relic.
Yeah.
Okay. Warning!
Alright, then we discard our Go for the Throat.
Yep. Black. Thanks for that.
Yep, and here we are.
Okay. Okay. Attack. It's some kind of a miracle.
Regenerate.
Regenerate Masticore.
Boom. Did you know that regeneration through Beast Within still gives you the Beast token? But regeneration does remove the card from combat.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
So he lives and has 1 mana to his name?
Yeah. Yeah. Winter Orb. Let me present to you the power of orbs.
I feel like a real wizard. I can't get the results out of the way.
All wizards need orbs.
Just have to return to... Oh, that was the match!
Yeah.
Whoa! Wait. When did I win against him?
When he was...
Lodestone Golem,
When you played
right.
Lodestone Golem?
Woo! Winter Orb.
Winter Orb. So strong. The good old Winter Abyss is too powerful.
Let me take y'all back to 1995.
You know, that isn't how Winter Orb should function, how the card is written there. It should have the text, when it's tapped. If I remember Winter
Yep.
Orb correct. It's one of the Howling Mine style
Right. It was a mono artifact, or a
Yes.
yeah. And there used to be a game rule that stated if a mono artifact was tapped, it was off.
There
Like,
were
they
a
just-
lot of odd game rules like that.
They just plain turned off, and
Tapped
a lot of
off.
cards got that text added to them. Like back when Mirrodin, like original Mirrodin got printed, they printed a couple cards to like harken back to those and included the text in the card, which is
Yep.
why Trinisphere has the line of text that it has.
Yeah, Winter Orb itself did not have the text, but the games did. Yeah.
Like Howling Mine didn't either.
Yes, but Howling Mine keeps the text because it got reprinted, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
but-
think that's a mistake. Winter Orb should definitely have it.
Yeah. But
If Howling Mine gets it, Winter Orb gets it. I'm sticking
sh-
with that.
Trinisphere, I think, is one of those that's if it's untapped, make all spells cost. All right, you won the die roll. Turn 3 Abyss.
I'll keep this.
Yeah. All colors. A removal spell.
I'm gonna play Mutavault.
What are we doing? Nobody knows.
Opponent starts out with Wasteland.
Oh man. Alright. Come on, Signet. Bum, bum.
Oh, wait for my main phase. You're right, I don't... No need to animate my guy.
Yep, I don't really want to attack for 2 here. Alright.
Oh no, the black-white tokens player that I could not be.
Well, here's the thing. Now you play the Abyss, and he loses his guy.
I'm really fine with that.
Yeah.
Let's... blue into blue-black, into black into 1 carefully.
Mm-hmm.
The Abyss.
Hello.
Oh, it just zipped into play. How about that? Because my opponent F6'd. Oh, now I will... I can't yield
Can't
to that.
yield to that. You have to put it on the stack every time. Okay.
Because the Abyss is super jank.
Thanks, Abyss. Oh my God.
Away it goes.
What if we just threw all your creatures in the garbage?
Vindicate O-ring.
O-ring! Alright, you know what? We have 2 answers to that. In the form of large,
Form of
planeswalkers.
gigantic men.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we might just attack Mutavault. Like, I don't know how much I care for Masticore. Alright, goodbye, the Abyss. You were thrown into a slightly different Abyss.
Alright, we got Isolated Chapel.
Soren...
Hypnotic Spectre.
I can...
Ether Vial.
A bit late.
Okay.
I think that's completely real. Come on, top deck Winter Orb. Well, okay. So what do we want?
I could go get Winter Orb.
Well, okay. I think you could go get in. I think we just cast it and take a look.
I'm
Leave
gonna
up your Signet.
leave out the Signet? I was gonna
I was thinking, honestly, the card I was thinking was Tezzeret. Because we can play land and play Tezzeret and then plus.
Well, give me something right away. I can also Metamorph. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably the best. What'd you get? Into that, into this, into carefully, add mana instead of activating it.
And then plussing is because we don't need to make the Signet a guy right away. Mostly because Damnation's an option next turn.
Yeah. Also, it's the only artifact.
Yeah.
So there's no real advantage to me, like, making one now and one next turn. Okay. You know, archive a card, put it in your hand.
Top's pretty real.
Yeah. Put the cards on the bottom of your library in any order. Okay. Don't care.
Yeah, not really relevant. Cool.
My top is a 5/5.
I like the fact that we have Damnation to follow up with if something dumb comes up, you know? Like, oh no, something huge, something bothersome, something... a team.
But again, it could just be Soren. It could always be Soren.
Yeah. Mind Twist for 3?
He did drill mana into it. Oh, I don't have any cards in my hand. How about that?
Rest in peace.
It's a strong play. What is your ultimate?
Drain life for double X, where X is the number of artifacts you control.
Oh. That's kind of boo-boo.
I think animate Signet and just start rocking in.
Target artifact. Tamir Signet.
And get the Mutavault in too. Carefully.
I know, it's... I
Uh,
just know I'm going to make that mistake.
Yeah. I mean, Dreadbore is really cool because every time we've said Soren,
I thought I hit okay to that, but apparently not.
now we just don't care.
Charging up the vial.
I can't wait till it throws something completely off color into play.
That would be a bold move. I always want to see that.
Yeah. Although, like, he just flips, like, Dual Caster Mage in to copy, like, something insane. He's like, yo, check this out.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's flipping in something. Brain Maggot.
There goes our Dreadbore.
Well,
And that probably means he's following up with a 6, right? Like, that's gotta be it.
my opponent
Like
has a
Sun-
lot of
Sun-
hand disruption.
Sun Titan. Grave Titan.
Sun Titan.
Sun Titan.
Gross.
Yeah, our opponent's got a pretty strong... I can't believe the Aether Vial had an effect there. Wow.
That's kind of disgusting.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, there's Hypnotic Spectre back.
Mm-hmm. How about ultimate price on Brain Maggot, and then just go ahead and Dreadbore
Dreadbore the Sun Titan.
Yeah.
Okay. You will play the ultimate price. Yes.
You will
You
pay
too will pay the ultimate price.
ultimate price. And then I will crush you with booze. Plus Tez
dude.
for free cards.
Yeah.
If it's a Mox, you get to attack with... Okay, whatever. 5 land! Holy crap. Thanks, Tez.
Cool.
Alright, whatever. You still have 5/5, and now he's empty-handed.
He'll make me discard a card at random every turn.
Look, I have to summon what's actually going to occur. That's how my power works. Like,
No, I guess I was doing it in Hearthstone the other night. So you get to have it here.
Yeah. And, like, it sucks when it's like, yeah, he's got the Sun Titan, but luckily there's the, yeah, we've got the ultimate price to follow it up. What the hell's he got now? It can't be Soren. after
Hopefully
the
nothing relevant. He ticked up the Aether Vial. Vindicate.
Vindicate! Well, here's a problem. Opponent's at 6. Like, he's at 6, and you have a 5/5. Oh, I would say just attack with Dimir Signet. That's the weirdest sentence I've said in a little while, but you know.
I'm asking you for the rationale on this one.
Okay, the idea here is that you attack with just Demir. Well, my thought process was that attacking with just Demir Signet demands he like either go to 1 or block and stay at 6 and not trade with Mutavault, leaving him the option of top decking a out of this by just killing Demir Signet. But honestly, I think you might be right. Like play Thran Dynamo and then activate Mutavault and yeah. Basically, it's me being scared as hell of like him top decking a removal spell, but isn't that what Mutavault's for? I suppose, so he goes to 1, and then he needs to either top deck a removal spell or like chump blocker or a creature larger than Demir Signet. Again, a weird sentence. I love, he just needs to draw something larger than Demir Signet. It's not that hard, right? Come on, guys.
Sin Collector. Good lord.
Man's a chump blocker, and also your hand is freaking dead.
Man. Come on, Bolus.
Well, whatever. We get to attack.
Doop, doop, doop. The Abyss.
The Abyss.
A gorilla. Artifact creature? No, not another huge thing. Oh, jeez.
What the hell?
Elspeth.
What the...
Boo!
This is so bad. He just minuses Elspeth, and that's the kill spell for Demir Signet. That is also incredibly good because now he's got complete advantage on the board. This kind of sucks.
Yep.
Cast that at max.
All right.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was afraid of on the losing our Mutavault was that sort of thing. We have 8 land on the bottom of our library, and we're just gonna draw dead forever. It's fine. All right, 3 1/1s.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Emrakul.
We're 3 short. No, we're 3 short.
Ugh.
I'd already done that math.
Well, dead draws, everybody.
Yeah. And all of our land are on the bottom of our library. Uh-huh. 3, 6, 9. We have 3 turns to live to that. Well.
Okay, I was wrong to attack with Mutavault, I guess.
Molten Tail Massacre is in our deck. We do have that out. We have like 4 or 5 outs. This turn we go to 11. Next turn we go to 2. Well, that's another land and a blocker. Also a shuffle, which is actually kind of bad for us, but technically a lethal guy, so...
I will use Solemn Simulacrum's ability.
Alright.
Sure, doubles. We love it.
Alright.
Okay.
We've got something like a 50-50. As long as we obviously don't die here. That's the caveat.
Yeah. Maybe my opponent will do like 1 damage to himself.
Maybe your opponent will...
A vial? What?
What the hell?
You need to do that?
Why?
Life Vein Zombie.
You know what? You get to see the card in our hand. Look, buddy. We got news.
God, this guy hates hands.
What if our opponent produces a flying blocker as his final card?
Yeah, I would basically hate that.
All right. Yep.
Okay.
So it is important that you block one of these. It turns on 2 outs.
Okay, I'm going to block token.
Yep. Because now Ancient Tomb and Blood Crypt are both live draws. Do it.
Swamp.
Slam. Slam jam. Thank you, ma'am. Boom! Always yield.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I attack with Solemn?
Yeah.
Yeah. I cast Emrakul, the Eon's Torn.
I'm very glad that that's our freaking out. Like that's our way to win the game was Emrakul. We did it.
I actually don't attack with Solemn
Well.
because he could have an edict.
Oh yeah. Okay. Don't do it. Yeah. That would ruin. Ruin
Right.
It.
You're like, oh god.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
an edict.
then just make sure you attack with Emrakul.
Yeah, I'll just
Good.
have to
Oh
make
my
sure to attack them. Are cool. Okay. It's whoop. Yeah,
You.
you. I'll do 15 times your life total. Okay.
He plays Flight. What the hell? Okay.
Oh, he's tapping mana.
He's floating 6. What the hell could his last card be?
I don't know.
I really. No way. Okay.
I do not believe you.
Yeah, that's a bluff.
What are you even bluffing?
Wing shards, let's go. Wow.
Sure.
I am.
God.
Cruel. God. Yes.
Disfigure?
That ain't bad. You showed a lot of. Inquisition for Mind Twist is pretty real.
Edict,
Edict
maybe?
works very well against everything except for Elspeth, so we just have to kind of answer Elspeth.
Have to be like bigger than Elspeth?
I don't know if we bring in that many cards.
Probably
like-
not.
What do we want out?
Like, Disfigure kills his Hypnotic Spectre, Sin Collector, Brain Maggot.
I like that. How about we just bring that
easy.
in then? Like, bring that in and bring out. What's a non-threat?
Like Divining Top.
I like Sarkhan in this match.
This is so tough. What the hell? Like, these cards were also quite good.
Every single one of them was key to the victory.
I cast them.
Molten Tail. Molten Tail's.
I don't have dudes.
I think that's the one.
Okay, so I can take that out.
And then just only one of the two. I don't know what we bring in Inquisition for. Damnation's real. The Abyss is real. He just had O-Ring for you. Like,
Right.
It just happened.
The thing is, the Inquisition gives me a dimension that I don't have.
So is that better than Disfigure?
I think it
Just
is.
Okay.
It's weird to say, but yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Taking the tiniest little bit of disruption. And then get it.
Okay. I think we lead with it.
We keep.
Like, we don't bother with the Mox Signet play. We just lead Inquisition.
Yep. Would anything change your mind? Like drawing Tezzeret?
We're on the place, and now.
Swamp.
No, oh right, we're on the draw here.
The Abyss.
I think that changed my mind. Fine. Landmarks. The trick here is that you don't have to cast the Abyss next turn if there isn't a guy in play. Like, you can just go ahead and play Inquisition, because the Abyss immediately triggers and such.
Right.
Double black. Brain Maggot.
Him to Turok.
Mind Twist for 1.
He's not gonna Mind Twist for 1.
Imperial Seal. Well,
Ew.
we can't disrupt Imperial Seal if that's what he's going for.
What would you get?
Twist. I would go ahead and play the Inquisition and the Metalworker.
I have some questions to ask you.
Hello.
Mind
Black-
Twist.
Oh my god, Mind Twist Black Lotus. What the hell? If you don't get rid of that Black Lotus, he's going to play Sun Titan the following turn, but do we care? Because I think the Mind Twist is the more,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's
he can
weird to
look-
say, but
Yeah,
let's take Mind Twist.
and then play the Metalworker.
Sure.
Because you can just play the Abyss. He doesn't have guys in the yard for Sun Titan. He did grab a white, so he can just go ahead and do the thing. He could also Sin Collector you to get rid of your Go for the Throat, but you have the Abyss.
Instant or sorcery card from it. Well, there you go. Just gone. That's a good guy.
Yeah, I don't like that it can get rid of Go for the Throat, because the thing is that his Sun Titan is very powerful. Like, if it can just keep recurring that every turn to the Abyss, but I don't know what we have.
Right. We have Solemn Simulacrum. Which I could reveal to pay for half of itself. Let's play Island.
Do we want the Abyss
2,
here, or do we just want Solemn Simulacrum? Our opponent's hand is Lotus Sun Titan.
Right. Basically, it's Sin Collector back anyway.
I think the Abyss is fine then. Solemn the following turn. The problem is I don't know how we deal with the Sun Titan. That's the real issue. We need to draw one of our kill spells for it.
Right. Which he gets to take a look at my hand every turn.
Luckily,
Jeez.
it's on his turn, so like, and obviously if you draw a kill spell, you're just going to like slam jam, kill Sun Titan because it's the only threat he has left. His hand is 2 cards, and we have an active Abyss. So.
All right, I have to
All right.
put that on the stack. Okay, so right now his land is Black Lotus Sun Titan.
Yeah, and it should be Black Lotus Sun Titan get back Sin Collector because the Abyss, like, he needs something to keep throwing to the Abyss. And then we kind of get abyssed by Sun Titan for a while. Opponent passed.
Okay.
I guess you get to play Solemn and attack with Metalworker.
That's weird. That seriously damages my column.
I know. I know. That's a very obvious line that I thought he was just going to take. I don't know what he's got.
Thing is,
Whatever.
Solemn is worth 2 in my hand.
it's thinning end of clock, I think, like pressure.
I would not like to pay 2 life, thank you. Alright, so you and you.
There's only 2 cards you can draw that you can't just cast anyway. But be Bolas and, the other one. Also, you getting your land really doesn't... Whatever, you just grab any old land.
Grab a swamp. Swamp's a good land.
Yeah, good land.
Look at all my colors. I'm brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kami of Ancient Law.
Oh my lord.
Oh no.
Life is fake. Your opponent is fake. And that's you know what? Our opponent has shown the propensity to have literally the exact answers for our cards. So he didn't even tutor that, he just drew it. Because his tutor was the plains. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Attack with Solemn. Not that it matters.
Alright, he's gonna give me the block and sack.
Yeah. I mean, it gives him the option of screwing it up in some way, but it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a loss. It's just hilarious that our opponent has, like, this sort of...
Yeah. Okay.
Pile of... Okay. Well, we're still in block. So, yeah. Cool.
Well, don't I feel awkward?
Yeah. Little nude here. We need to draw one of our big things, like, walkers. Walkers would be great.
Yeah. Nicole Bolas. I'd love it. Take your Sun Titan.
Is he gonna do it?
Okay.
Finally.
He's pulling the trigger on that.
Christ. It's Lotus, Sun Titan, pullback, Lotus, right? Like, you could pull back Kami, but, like, honestly, Lotus recursion with Sun Titan's a bit rude.
I have this land that taps for 3.
Yeah, it's just here.
Yeah, it's Kami of Ancient Law, so I never have an enchantment ever again.
Yeah. Honestly, I would love to draw Bolas right now. Bolas, steal Sun Titan, walk away, just hands up, like game's over.
Okay.
Okay. What do you want?
The Kami.
Tommy. All right.
Okay. Different Planeswalker.
Well, we can play it and we can play it and make 5/5s.
Dimir Signet once again enters. Actually, I could upgrade Metalworker.
I think we want more guys because, like, Dimir Signet as a 5/5 plus Metalworker is enough to kill Sun Titan on the block. You know.
Target artifact becomes a 5/5 creature. You get in
Hello.
there. No attack.
Yeah. I mean, this is our... We can stop Sun Titan by just having more power. Okay. Yep. Thinking about it. All in.
4 mana.
What do we got?
Maybe it's finally Sorin.
I'm not feeling Sorin.
Fates Fetters.
Okay. All right. So Tez is just kind of. Here's the thing. Doesn't answer Tez. I mean, like, in the sense that, like, it's not a permanent answer. And also, we have enough power on the board to stop attacks.
Cool.
Well, you cast it. We get one step closer. It's worth more in play than it is in hand to Metalworker. So
Yep.
All right, we are at stalemate. If he plays Elspeth, it kills Sun Titan and Dimir Snip, but more than likely he just goes ahead. Oh, what's he got follow up?
Lifebane Zombie.
That has Intimidate. Guess what that can be blocked by?
Hey, it's a creature.
Uh-huh. It is a creature.
I'm currently sitting on 10 mana. That's a Planeswalker.
Fly over for 4?
I mean, the board is stalemated.
Yeah.
I could just soar ahead.
The power of Thran Dynamo. Oh, you have Signet. That's 11 mana. Aha.
Oh! That's a good note. Yeah. Yes.
Cool. This could be one of those legendary games where Sarkhan's ult goes off. It is within the realm of possibility that that occurs.
Good lord. What does that even do?
You draw 3 cards on your turn, but you discard your hand at end step.
I don't know. Wouldn't I rather just attack with it?
I mean, it depends on what his life total is afterwards. But
Yeah.
yes, you probably do want to just keep attacking with him. Or, like, ult him when he, doesn't die to it. But it takes quite a while to get to his ult. I think it's 3 swings to get to just where he needs to be. I think it's -7 for his ult.
Let's see.
No, it's -6. Wow. All right. So you could...
Yeah, he's got the good, like, plus huge.
Yeah.
That is the 1, 2, 3 that a lot of Planeswalkers have cooked into, and that you convinced me to put into mine.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a real thing. Okay. So.
Hello. Yes.
All right. He's pulling back Sin Collector, I imagine,
Lotus.
or maybe Lotus. So, Signet and Metalworker. I mean, he's not going to deal damage to the Simulacrum.
Yeah, it's not worth doing more than that. If you wanted to, like, no, never mind. It's Signet plus Metalworker. If he has a kill spell, there's no playing around it. If he kills Signet, like, there's just no playing around it. So.
He is attacking Sarkhan.
Yeah, go ahead and get
Okay.
the...
Lock.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, because even, like, the triple block, you can just kill Dimir Signet. It doesn't work. So
Right.
there's no point in attempting to work around it. I know what he's got. He's killing your Metalworker. He's going to play Elspeth, and he's going to plus. Maybe. If he's not killing Signet, this is weird. Because he could go ahead and play Elspeth and then, like, minus Elspeth to kill Dimir Signet, but that leaves Elspeth dead to Sarkhan. No? So what do we got? So it can't be Elspeth. That doesn't make any sense.
It's Banisher Priest.
Oh my god, I can't believe Dimir Signet is just going to get removed from play by Banisher Priest. What world do we live in where this Dimir Signet is the biggest threat in the universe? What's your final follow-up? If it's Vindicate...
Brain Maggot.
Oh, he's trying to get enough power in play to kill Sarkhan.
Yes!
Finally!
So, who do we exile? Banisher? Or...
Bates Fetters?
That would get me another guy.
I mean, that gets you Tezzeret, and then you can turn Mox Ruby into a guy. And then Sarkhan can do whatever you feel like. Honestly, maybe fly over still.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Super friends, super friends.
Okay, so let's exile target permanent.
God, that looks bad. Yep.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Tezzeret goes minus to Mox Ruby.
Mox Ruby.
And then if you want, you could kill Lifebane Zombie or just fly over. Like, both are completely legit.
I kind of want to kill Lifebane Zombie.
Okay.
Like, then I could attack with Mox Ruby.
I think you want to leave enough blockers around to leave Karn alive is the problem. Like, Karn's at 3. And if you attack with Mox Ruby, you actually don't have enough to protect Karn.
Ah, true. Okay.
So.
That's fine.
You hold back. I mean, you build up. No reason to rush into.
I love his attack step. Attack Tezzeret, attack Sarkhan.
Attack Karn, attack Bolus. The 1 mana spell is the white spell that usually saves a player is called Balance. Sadly, it does nothing here. Like, I guess we lose some lands, and then we have all these artifacts sitting around anyway, and he loses a Brain Bigot. It doesn't really do anything. So now it's all important what he's attacking. If he attacks. He can kill Tezzeret if he chooses. Now, if he chooses to kill Tezzeret, like...
Yeah, he is choosing to kill Tezzeret.
So we get our Dimir Signet back and we kill Brain Maggot and don't lose our Solemn. Like, again, just get as to a board as possible. Would be my thought.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, to that. Put you in front of you. In front of you. Okay. And okay.
Yep. Okay, and now we can plus Karn to get the card out of everything's going great now.
Oh wow.
You want Dimir Signet back?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Karn plus is quick.
Yeah.
Because we
Ew.
Ever. Hey, what's your card?
Planes. Okay, cool. Plus Sarkhan.
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. It's just,
And we just like hold on to Ultimate Price because
I think so.
Okay.
Instants are kind of cool that way. So, I got buddies. We win!
Yay!
Woo!
Oh, is my headset sounding weird?
Oh no! Dimir Signet went into exile.
What?
Why? I guess when the player leaves, then he can't have like triggers.
Well, but Banished Priest isn't a
It's
trigger.
not a trigger. Ooh. We have some weird caveat here, and that could actually be important in multiplayer.
Yeah, because in multiplayer, O-Ring doesn't trigger.
Right, whereas Banish Reprieve is the fixed version that's a continuous effect.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's questionable.
I don't know where that's going.
Return to data. Somehow I did it.
I'm God, we cannot destroy value. Value cannot be destroyed.
Woo!
I'm so happy this deck is in the finals. Also, we get more Urza's packs.
Oh, I still don't know what to do with those. I just pass them to you. You can use them.
I think the queue for him disappears tomorrow.
Jeez.
Because why the hell not?
Just to make sure that we can never actually use the things that we win.
Yeah.
The great,
So you have to sell them for like whatever, hold on to them forever.
right? The great wheel skeleton of anti-value. Okay, so this is your opportunity in the zoo. If I know you on Magic Online, so I guess I'm talking to Cabanaugh, Gnome Bitten, I will definitely send you Urza's packs so that you can use them, because I do not want to play more Magic this week, probably.
Mm-hmm. I guess with the caveat, you have to use them by, like noon tomorrow or something like that. So that's
Oh, jeez.
yeah. So, Ancient Tomb makes this hand look kind of nifty.
I'll keep it.
Yeah.
Polluted Delta.
Don't Thoughtseize. Do not Thoughtseize.
Underground Sea. Thoughtseize.
Yeah! I can only use my summoning powers for evil. I'm sorry.
Well.
Whatever.
Well, so much
Yes.
for cool things.
Yeah. I guess you hold the Ancient Tomb until you need it then.
Boo.
What's good here? I guess we cast it and find out.
It is a
And then
thing.
get counterspelled.
Right.
You don't counter the tutor, do you? You counter what it oh, that's it. See, that was the old standby of like you don't counter the tutor, you counter what it's going for, but then sometimes that's not exactly true.
Could get Tezzeret.
That's a play next turn. That's a really good threat.
Could get the Abyss.
Our opponent looks control-y. I think
Let's get
Tezzeret.
Tezzeret.
We can play it next turn off Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good reason to use it. Waiting for Fred McFred.
The Abyss would be funny because it's like, oh, I'm a control deck. How do I win? It's like, uh-oh, you know. But then he just plays a walker and laughs at us. So
Right.
you know, control finishers are great like those.
Forest. Oh no!
Everything's wrong now. Like you didn't do anything with it, but all of a sudden,
Forget everything that we just said.
yeah. All
I
right,
don't know
so
anything. I'm gonna run it out.
let's do it.
Let's do cool plays for cool kids. Yeah, it's a walker. Woo! He's over here. The stack keeps shaking around.
right,
That's
what we
the only
get?
thing I can do.
Well, goodbye the Abyss. I think top. Though Metalworker, we might be able to power because we're going to be using Tezzeret a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And, okay.
What you want to do is find Mox Ruby.
That would be pretty rad.
That would be pretty sweet.
That would be like what?
You can't do it this turn, but you would be able to do it. Like you play the Metalworker and then that's Cryptic Mana. I guess plus Tez before you do anything.
I could ultimate him.
Whoa!
God. Ooh.
I like Solemn because that goes and gets the red. Is like Swamp Metalworker still good here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Metalworker's a lot of mana. God, the stack.
Stack doesn't know where to be.
I have no idea.
Yeah, or I could just make Metalworker 5/5.
What was our opponent doing? Gifts? Dismember the...
Remember the Metalworker.
Sure, you know?
Okay.
Murder the hell out of that guy. That's fine.
You got it.
I guess we just kind of keep plus and Tez for card advantage.
Yeah, I guess I'm glad I didn't turn him into a 5/5.
Yeah. Whoops.
Glad my opponent didn't let me get that far in the process.
Yeah. Again, we continue to...
Next turn, Swamp Solemn.
Yeah. Plus Tez first. I think plus Tez before you... Oh,
What?
no. Oh, no.
Everything is lies.
Storm detected.
I don't know what I am doing, and I don't know what my opponent is doing.
Storm.
Time Twister.
Storm detected. He's going to crack that Lion's Eye Diamond with the Time Twister on the stack. Yep. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God. Check his grave. Check his grave. Oh, never mind.
Oh, shit.
You might be able to check the chat. If you scroll all the way down in that.
Okay, let's. Huh.
Oh, man. Yep.
Yawgmoth's Bargain, Elish Norn Grand, Cenobite, Necropotence.
Necro. Dude, if he's trying to win with Brain Freeze. Oh no, Emrakruul's in our hand. Oh no.
Shit!
Abort. Use Masticore.
Face down.
We need that Emrakruul in our grave. Necro.
Oh my god.
No, I hope you're flipping. Yep, he's flipping. Okay.
Necropotence entered the effects area. Brain freeze.
God, it's in our hand.
That's kind of lame.
It's in our hand. Oh, he's freezing himself. Shit.
That's even scarier.
Uh-huh.
Grizzlebrand, is it Signet?
Look at this guy's
Heartbeat of Spring. What is this?
He's combo.
What am I fighting?
Yeah, don't play a card past the turn. That might be it. Or use Tezzeret to draw. And then just discard Emrakruul at the end step. You know?
Just so he can't, like, freeze me out?
Yeah. He'll still be able to tendrils you out, but you make him fight for it. Like, don't let him have the freeze out. So, like, plus Tez. You know, whenever you discard a card, exile it because you have Necropotence in play. Yeah. Like, okay, plus Tezzeret.
Oh, look, Metalworker.
Mm-hmm. Now you have 9 cards in hand, so you can either play a card from your hand or a land. The Metalworker might be...
Jeez, how am I winning this game?
Murder.
Masticore? Masticore is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Sure. I guess I have to do it this way.
And then just pass the turn discarding Emrakruul.
Emma, I need you in the library.
Okay. Place your triggered abilities on the stack, because that's how this card functions.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
No
I
problem.
don't... The stack. Get back over here.
Okay. Well, our opponent skips their draw step.
Hope you didn't have a stop there, I guess. Yeah, maybe I just kill him with Tezzeret.
Yeah.
We're pulling Chalice for 0.
Freezing himself is like next level crazy. I scared.
Monocrypt.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
This is who we're playing. The guy with Monocrypt.
Necromancy.
That's going to go ahead and go grab his what?
Trinket Mage.
I'm like, he has a Grizzlebrand in the grave. It's grabbing that, right? No.
He only has 12 cards in his library.
Okay, then.
Lion's
Lion's Eye Diamond is
Diamond.
back. LED. And then he's going to play a Tutor, sacking LED with it on the stack for triple black. And then he's going to try to tendrils us for lethal.
Lotus Plume entered the exile zone.
Well, that takes 3 turns for it to go off, and he'll die after 3 turns. That's fine. I'm scared. Well, like...
Yogg's Will.
Okay. Well, he can't brain freeze you out. What he can do now is he can use his LED to discard his hand with that Yogsville on the stack, but it exiles them all because that's how Necro works. However, now he can turn about untapping all of his lands.
Plays Lion's Eye Diamond. Plays Heartbeat of Spring.
Now all his
Gross.
lands tap for double. He's going to tap 2 and go ahead and untap them all with turnabout.
Mm-hmm.
So, untap all his lands. He can now use LED for another 3 mana. He can use Grizzlebrand to force himself to draw 7 if he feels he's not going off enough. He has no hand, though. Our opponent is a master wizard. Like, there's nothing else to say about how great our opponent is. I think he's trying to figure out how he's killing us. That's a difficult question because because of the Emrakul, he doesn't have the ability to brain freeze kill us.
I mean, he's got to, like, Time Twister and hope we draw Emrakul.
Yeah, but we have Masticore in play. At the beginning of our upkeep, we can discard Emrakul and trigger it. You know?
Okay.
I think he Time Twisters and does that, though. He Time Twisters and tries to draw into his... The problem is once he Time Twisters, his Yawgmoth's... it's off, you know, his...
Animate Dead on Grizzle.
Because he can pay life once to that.
Okay. Animate Dead is complicated.
Mm-hmm. Now, importantly, if he pays life to it, he has basically made the statement that he is trying to win this turn, like, which he already has, obviously, like, because your Tezzeret ult can kill him if he goes to 4. I'm trying to kind of keep everything that's going just narrated just because there's so much crap going on. I don't know what the storm count is, but I believe it's lethal. Like, if he casts a storm card, this game ends. But Brain Freeze doesn't do it. So now he's
now it says Storm Count 9 on the Brain Freeze.
Oh,
Thanks. Thanks,
Great.
Brain Freeze.
Thank you, Brain Freeze. Anyway, the point is that's lethal.
Casting Thoughtseize at me? Yeah, okay.
Right now he's emptying his graveyard so that he can Time Twister. I disagree with... Well, actually, no. He can tap his land for double black. So this isn't an actual issue. The issue is if he's going to win this game, it needs to be with Tendrils of Agony because Brain Freeze is not doing it.
Okay, filter into the Signet.
This might be the Time Twister.
That's the Time Twister.
So that lets him draw some new cards to see if he draws into Tendrils. We draw some new cards, none of which are, luckily.
Cool.
Okay,
Draws 7.
So he's looking for Tendrils. We have 3 cards in his entire deck. We need Tendrils to be in those 3. He could, like, we have let's see, that's 14. We have a small chance that he peters off.
Monovolt.
Like, it's small, but it's there.
13 cards in hand, 3 in library.
Right. It's about a 1 in 6. We have a lot of sideboarding to do.
No smoke.
We have a lot of useless cards.
Like, the Abyss is never doing anything.
Yeah.
Ultimate Price, maybe. Memory Jar.
If he cracks that, now he loses, so he's obviously not going to.
Brain Freeze targeting me?
Okay, so what he's doing here is he's trying to use Memory Jar as a... He's trying to catch you off guard. He wants to catch your Emrakul with the Memory Jar. He's going to try to throw it in the jar or deck you when you have 7 or less cards. The problem is you have 27 cards in deck. So, Yep, there's Emrakul, so now those first 2 Brain Freezes are null. So now we're back with 27 cards in deck again. The process is over. Okay, great. Emrakul's back. Basically, what he needs Emrakul to be in the last 9 cards. If Emrakul ever ends up in the last 9 cards, he can draw the game. The problem is all right, Emma Cruel. Hello. The problem is this
Lord.
is kind of bad for him. All right. Hopefully we get.
I guess he's seeing my entire deck too.
That's okay. So 15,
There's
and there's Emma Cruel, so we should be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So now he mills us 2 more times. And we win.
Hooray!
Because he's at 2, as Tezzeret's ultimate can do 2 damage.
Yuff.
I can't believe Emma Cruel is our savior. Okay. I am okay.
Good lord.
Sort your deck and pull out everything that's useless.
All right. Well, it's already.
We got
covered
3
mana
minutes.
cost.
So Damnation, the Abyss.
Goodbye.
Go for the Throat, ultimate price, Dreadbore.
Really?
Maybe not all of them, but most of them. The only thing you need is one
Yeah,
of them
Dreadbore.
to answer the.
Creature, monocolored creature.
Honestly, he only plays Grizzlebrand. That's the only guy, and we need to bring in as many useful cards as possible.
I don't think I have all that many useful cards. I mean,
Koth,
I have an
we
Inquisition.
go aggressive.
Wait, seriously?
Yes. we turn this
Oh,
around
goodness.
by going aggressive.
Smash the Smithereens, maybe? What artifacts does he have?
Manifold, Lion's Eye Diamond. He's not playing them on turns where they matter.
Yeah. Jackal Pup?
Yeah.
It's kind of jank. Need to stick Lodestone Golem is what?
I think we
Been a
do.
different game. Is that better than Grim Lavamancer?
Even Borderland Marauder. I think we bring out Ultimate Price and bring in Borderland Marauder. That is a sentence. Holy shit. We also do like 1 more red in the deck. Like add in some red mana. Maybe 2 more. We're taking out a lot of black. We can add in mountains.
Yeah. Give her the Throat, Demonic Tutor, Inquisition.
I really think that Go for the Throat gets cut for. Well,
What, Grim Lavamancer?
maybe.
Okay, well, more importantly,
Let's do the lands.
Swamp.
Like,
Swamp.
I think 3 swamps for 3
Swamp.
mountains.
That basic. No Suggestatron. You're not listening to me. Yes.
And I think that we just roll with this. Bitter Blossom's the only other card I could suggest.
Okay.
Yeah. This is crazy. I realize that we're like doing something mad. Yo. I like this.
This is turn 2 Metalworker.
I think we're okay.
Lotus Bloom, enter the exile zone.
Okay.
Monoval.
Oh, Lord.
Great. Okay.
Yep. Turn 2 Metalworker can lead to turn 3 Karn.
Oh, they get to choose. I could just start blowing up his lands.
Even the Mana Vault or something.
He
like
needs those, right?
that. He does need those.
Lands.
So, all right, we get to go ahead and Metalworker this turn.
Ooh.
I think it's still more
4
important.
cards
to get,
in hand. Yeah.
yeah. Here's the big thing: his Lotus Bloom doesn't come down until next turn, the turn after this one. And if I know anything about Storm, it's the guy who's storming off is going to try to,
Gifts. Gross.
drone.
Okay. Choose. Okay, I get to choose 2 cards to put into his graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Grizzlebrand.
Put that in his hand. He's gonna
Oath of Druids.
Oath of Druids.
And I have to choose both of them.
Okay.
Choose a card.
You know, yeah.
3 cards. Oh, right.
Now I'm sitting here thinking I wish we had one go for the throat in the deck, and that might have been a
Right.
little overzealous of me, but we just Karn it. Whatever. Right? Like,
Right, he's got a, like, Yogg's Will for Oath.
mm-hmm. So I have a cool, dumb plan if he goes for Necromancy.
Necromancy. Okay.
Okay. So I have a cool, dumb plan here. If we don't draw an artifact, is he just going off this turn? Is the question. Okay. So if we draw an artifact, we can just play Karn and remove it.
We didn't.
Okay. So don't play anything. Demonic Tutor. Don't tap your Metalworker.
Okay.
This is important. This is extremely dumb, but I think I love it.
Oh, lordy.
You want Mox Ruby. Now tap your Metalworker.
Tap Metalworker, reveal these 2. Any number. The stack!
The stack.
Where? Reveal the Reflect Chalice.
Okay.
Okay.
And
5.
then land and Mox Ruby. Then remove the hell out of that Grizzlebrand. The problem is he's going to draw 7 cards.
Yeah. But, like,
Even if we had go for the throat, there is no way to actually stop him from just
Right.
throwing I draw 7 cards. You know. So I thought that turn 3 Karn was powerful. The opponent here
whoa!
is making a very compelling argument against us. 16 cards in hand. Well, he's planning on making next turn the turn. The problem is, like, so he's got Lotus Bloom, and he probably has.
Jeez.
Okay, so Lotus Bloom comes in, and now we start having the storm fight.
What if he doesn't have tendrils?
I don't know if he actually does. Obviously, with 3 cards left in his deck, he might not have. You can just F6 pass the turn. It's not like you have anything to do, right? We can just sit back and watch. There's a spectacle going on. Our opponent's putting on a show for us.
Let's watch the fireworks.
Yep. Lodestone might have been better, but I assume our opponent has a way to remove it in Dismember, so it's not worth trying to just like slam down that. Also, there's the problem of if we don't like, there's the unstated problem if we don't answer Grizzlebrand that he just ignores storming off and hits us.
Right.
I mean, that is a 7/7 flying lifelinker.
He's got a huge, beefy. Didn't look like much.
All right,
Avatar. Preordain.
here we go.
Probably doesn't matter. He has 17 cards in hand.
Bottom top, so he liked one. Our opponent's seen 100% of our deck. It's not worth repping.
I
a
mean,
counter.
we've basically seen all of his too.
I know. I like the Oath of Druids in his deck. That's freaking nuts.
It's like, oh, the thing is, Oath could get like Trinket Mage. That's bold as hell. Can't flip for that.
I
think I win this game by my opponent having his brain melt. Because right now he's staring at 17 cards.
he's sitting there like hands clasped, just wondering.
Thinking of the lines.
Yeah.
I'm playing Magic. My opponent's playing chess.
I don't. Are we
Way too
playing
many.
Magic? Our deck is basically like we just played a turn 3 Karn and we're the fair deck. Is that really this? Is that really the world? I love
Right,
it.
which also involved
Okay, LED.
demonic tutor for Mox Ruby.
I don't think he has the mana to go off. Like, this is weird, but I just don't think he does. He might.
His mono vault is tapped. That's pretty huge. There's the bloom.
Mind's
go-
Desire for 5,
Going for something.
4, 5. Mind's Desire would be a 6. That's a card on 6.
Turnabout. Okay, the green disappeared.
Expel,
Yeah,
Turnabout.
there's
Okay.
turnabout.
And then Desire for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Desire for 5. Right? If I'm counting this correctly. Because LED, Preordain. We don't have a visible storm spell. LED, Lotus Bloom, Turnabout, Preordain, and then whatever follows. So we're Storm 4.
Yogg's Will.
Okay. This is the world we live in. Is he going to LED in response?
Brain freeze, targeting
Inter-
himself.
Oh my god.
Well, here we go again.
So I want you to look at a really cool thing about how many cards are going to be in your opponent's deck if this Brain Freeze hits his entire library.
Yeah,
All right.
looks like it's all aimed at him.
So he's milling his entire library. He's now trying to beat you with literally everything in it. He's like, no, okay.
There's the
Gnome-
deck.
Gnome 2 minutes ago in the chat said that we are watching the world's craziest 52 pickup game. Our opponent just threw his deck on the ground. So let's see if he can throw ours. Like, if he can do the same to us. Again, he doesn't have it. There's no tendrils in that. Elish Nord?
Hellish Norn is a strong card.
Yeah.
There's Heartbeat.
Do we have a way to force our opponent to draw a card?
I don't think so.
Okay. Heartbeat. Turnabout. Untap all your lands.
Like, the thing is, I forced him to make this the turn.
Right. Karn basically did.
That works to our advantage. Zero cards in hand, which is to say 29 cards in hand.
N cards in hand.
Can't cast Lotus Bloom. Just
Our
good to
deck is
know.
completely different without the Eldrazi, yes.
Thoughtseize me.
starting us, so we lose
Sure.
Inquisition, okay. He can Time Twister, but I just don't know what he does. Like, I don't know how he... I guess, yeah, he can... Well, he can put out Necro to not lose, but then we just Karn the Necro, and then he draws and loses, you know? It's not like... He's trying to catch Emrakul again. Yeah, he's going to try to Emrakul in the... He's going to put it in the jar. Like, put Emrakul in the memory jar and see what happens.
There's the drawer.
Okay. So this is Time Twister with Time Twister on the stack. Brain freeze us. We didn't draw it. Okay. That's good. We also didn't draw it, and now he's gonna brain freeze us. Sadly, he's playing the game that he was hoping that Emrakul was in these 7 cards,
Yep.
and it is not. So once he hits the Emrakul here,
Hey!
hey, hold on.
Hooray! Oh my God! What? Wait, that was.
That was it. You won game 1 because he fizzled off, and you won game 2. But props to our opponent. Like, kudos.
Jeez.
One of the most powerful opponents. That's a Storm deck. Like, we've talked about Storm. We even built something that tried to resemble Storm.